There it goes. Took us.
This is so much. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. I'm getting the goosebumps. Like, this is like the law of one channelings.
Yeah.
This feels so like we have this collection of recordings, and it combines with all like the collection of writings and the collection of mentalities that I've been undergoing. It's like, oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. All right. Flourish. Let's see. I need to grab the flourish scale.
I'm here and I'm listening. It's just I'm not on camera and I'm not talking right now. I'm right here.
It's like I'm shape shifting, and I can feel the shape shiftingness as it occurs. Because I've been contemplating these for a long time, but not stepping over the threshold. But today I actually stepped over the threshold. Okay. Is it recording? He stepped out. Okay.
I'm just 2 feet this way and I heard you, and yeah, it's recording. Sorry about the wait there. I was here though. I just full screened it.
Hello? Oh, no, okay.
What? There we go. Can you still hear me? Can we still hear? Okay, yeah. I zoomed out to get it to zoom in.
Hello. Okay, that's weird. I can't hear you. Oh! No, I can hear. My headphones got unplugged. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now things get potent.
Neat. Or should we say neef? Ha ha. I just had an idea. As pertains to frequencies and raising hours, what if it's a similar situation to trapping a fly in a jar? The fly tries to go up, it's just going to headbutt the glass. But if it goes down and around and then up, I wonder if that isn't our situation in a weird way. And why everybody's like, "Oh my God, you gotta be a certain way."
You're on the right track, but give the give the muscle a chance to rest. So like what's happening right now is the critical cohering. I don't know what it is in physics, but there's a point where you apply some kind of force to a superfluid and then it suddenly becomes coherent. I think they call it like a superfluid or something.
Cymatizing? Like with sound?
Maybe.
Is
I believe it can happen with any force, but the one that I'm familiar with is a thing.
A what?
So you're in the right vicinity, but you're connecting to literally the thesis, the conclusion of my life's work. It's actually about to come into being right here.
Yeah.
Got it. So hold your horses. Just hang tight for a hot minute.
Sorry, I was just going over what John and the other server had said about MAOIs, and I'm like, wait.
Oh. So there's others that are tapping into my morphic field.
No,
yes!
He's trying to say the opposite. He was trying to say the opposite. And I was like, wait, no.
Well, but whether someone rejects a pulse or validates a pulse, it's like what they say about liking or disliking a YouTube video. If you click the plus, like the like button or the not like button, algorithmically, it's like the YouTube algorithm will still regard it as the same thing because the YouTube algorithm regards it as attention.
Oh.
And so you're still actually supporting the promotion of the video, whether you like it or dislike it. And of course, so if someone puts conscious pulses into the like or dislike category, they're still
I see.
They're still giving it their attention.
I see.
Yeah. And so like a jet stream in the atmosphere requires the push and the pull to be a jet stream, or the oceanic current requires a push and a pull to be differentiated. Otherwise, it's just a singular drop of water in space, perfectly calm, or froth, or turbulent, or a mix of both, which is what the currents are. Yeah. It's still the same bubble. Now, are you watching my stream?
Yeah.
Good. Oh boy. Okay. I think I'm going to turn off my camera. so that I'm not taxing the bandwidth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do, do, do. Oh boy. Okay. This is gonna get challenging. Okay. Oh, that, wait, so we have, there we go. So, nah, nah, nah. I think I'll throw in the, the sensory, right? It's gonna get a little bit, it's gonna get a little bit loopy, because as we keep adding charts, eventually we'll have the whole Earth basically. Yay! Into our DMs. Lol.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I saved
Oh
that
boy.
for you so Shutterstock wouldn't delete it. Which it did immediately.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't know why they would.
I do the same thing. I just take a screenshot of. Oh, there it is! Yay! Okay. Good. A little small. I'll have to open it fully there. Good, good. There's one more. Let me think. So we have alignment. Oh, well, do I include? Yay, I should in fact. Although I haven't found a really good, like I'm still, the sort of last chart is the trauma. And I only recently learned the importance, depth, and scope of the psychological, like, so like what characteristics a human being would need when they go and visit a psychologist or a therapist or a hypnotherapist. I imagine they all use pretty much the same concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And but the real like pioneer on an enlightened, broader, more comprehensive understanding of trauma and what exactly would constitute, because Dr. Gabor Mate, who was traumatized as a child, given his experiential life experiences, basically became a medical doctor and then learned trauma as his subspecialty. And he had to go on a healing journey, because as he was learning about trauma, he was also kind of learning about the PTSD from his childhood.
Yeah, this sounds
And
familiar.
so I've been, yeah, and so I've been going into his interviews and reading up on and like beginning to inform myself. Although obviously
Hmm.
I'm familiar with all the different forms of trauma. So at least when I am taught about different traumatic attributes and the psychological effect that they have on a member of the human race, at least I'm not unfamiliar with examples of it. So I just basically need to learn the sort of checklist of what what is quantifiable as trauma within the human.
Okay.
And so obviously the hierarchy of needs and the trauma distortion are very related.
I see.
And it basically explains what I envisioned. It is to understand each of these charts together within the same moment. So I can pick subsistence because malnourishment affects all arms of everything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a critical or struggling subsistence affects the understanding. You know, the kid cannot participate in intellectual or emotional development when they're hungry. Well, they can, but it invokes a lot of cortisol,
And
which
it's
screws up digestion.
mm-hmm. Severely hampered, from what I understand. Yeah.
So, correct. And so your synonym hampered are synonyms of the crisis or struggling or survival or unhealthy designation. And it's incredible. Like, I knew that when I just saw it, just recognized it, just saw the whole picture, that it would be shockingly, like, it would illustrate the complete paradoxicality of all of these stupid situations. You know, turn the light on. Well, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm turning the light on and showing how far everything is from thrive and survive or thrive and flourish. Anyway, okay. Uh oh, eh. Hmm. Yeah.
It was the traits of a path. The for our friend, I would have to assume.
Um. No.
Although I totally get if it's for
Maybe.
me.
No. Not for you. I don't know. I've been I've been wondering. I don't know. I wanted to learn more about them in general.
Me too.
Not just to question whether one. Yes, it is about one particular. My brother, actually. I've been wondering,
Oh.
but while I learn to recognize the behavioral symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
I can also learn because I've learned a lot about um, psychopathic, sociopathic, and narcissistic cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And if I learn and it's a lot easier, like, we're not super taught to contemplate the way that, someone like someone like Neef or Hippocrates might study and teach about sociopathic cultures, but by recognizing them, we can see the role that the sociopathic culture that runs the planet operates. And once someone is educated about, and so that's basically one of my superpowers, is I take a human to human, psychiatrist to human, psychiatrist to psychiatrist, psychologist to all of the above, sort
Yeah.
of the more one-to-one personal, but the attributes of the interpersonal are a microcosm of the macro personal, which is basically what culture is. So I often do that where I use a specific personal to do guesswork and translation to the macro personal. Because what is macro personal? It's a collection of micro personals, human to human,
Yeah.
and then human to household, and human to neighborhood, and human to city, and human to planet, and human to solar system.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Although I am like I gather a lot of information before making a conclusion, and the conclusions that I make aren't specifically about a human that I'm using as my like study subject,
Right.
but I'll just wear the shoe or the hat or the glasses of this person is a psychopath, and then
Mm-hmm.
observe with what I see and feel and intellect and all of the above,
Yeah.
while it's like taking a spoonful of soup and pouring the spoonful of soup with all its ingredients, intellectual, sensory, onto a surface and seeing what the surface does with said soup.
Yeah, and how the ingredients splay out and blah blah blah, so you can see it all,
Yeah.
right?
And then over time, it's only after, a good like 10 to 20 or even 30 like trial and error of soup to surface and all the ingredients, you know, flowing in through each other that I make a sort of solid, okay, I think this is A or B or C. But until then, it's all sort of experimentation
Mm-hmm.
and speculation.
Like trying to figure out the difference between uh, different beef stock style, either vegetable beef, say, or minestrone with the brown, but beef stock to it, or another soup that has a brown
Yeah.
stock, which there's like 20.
Well, I can also take a spoonful of beef stew with a certain set of characteristics, and I
Mm-hmm.
can I can toss that spoonful of beef stew onto asphalt and see what it does, or onto a varnished table and see what it does, or onto a sidewalk cement and see what it does.
That's
That's
right.
basically the symbolic of the
Okay.
experimentation.
It's also about the surface too for that. I see.
Yeah, yeah. The asphalt or the pavement or the table
Mm-hmm.
being representative of a configuration of a human, what they believe, what they say, what I feel, what I believe, what I say, all these like ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I know what you mean. I gotcha. Mm.
And here I have an interesting charter of ingredients, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this moment, if my tear ducts were functional, I would be crying right now with joy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah. You
what
gotta get this
what is
together.
missing? I have to get it together. It's happening. Well, I'm inventing I'm inventing a
Mm-hmm.
I'm inventing flourish using, like, I'm trying to invent purple. Let's zoom right in on this one. I'm attempting to invent purple whilst living in orange.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most cosmic juxtaposition and transmutation alive and possible. And I'm feeling hungry,
Yeah.
who I talked about.
Sorry.
And I'm think it's okay. It's good. I feel the hunger. At least I'm not no. That's what I need. Okay, we found another one. Now I gotta go digging for another chart though.
Okay.
Oh, there was a biology. Oh yeah. Okay. They, one of the videos that I watched explains the three modes of the human physiological system: uh,
Mm-hmm.
relaxed and social, uh, uh, preservational, so fight or flight, and numb. And there is actually a neurological difference between the numb state and the fight or flight state. And it's actually taught to pediatricians and psychiatrists and therapists, the three neurological states of a human. And I have experienced all three in spades. So, that's fun. All right. Down into the bowels of the well, basically the research notes. This is like the notebook of the student who wants to achieve their doctorate. All right. So, oh no, that's not it. I need to go. Oh, that's what I need to do. See all history. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Um, let's see. Therapist. Can we narrow it down a bit? This looks like no. Okay. I guess we go back manually. Oh, maybe social. Nope. Hmm. Huh. Interesting. wait a minute. Okay. Disrupted. Dysregulated. That's the word. Dysregulated. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Oh, I just figured it out on another thing. You remember my psionic exercises?
Yeah. Oh, I remember you mentioning them. We haven't delved into them.
We did the first one. Feel the ball of energy in your belly,
Oh,
right
that
above your
one.
belly button.
Right.
Inside your stomach, right above your belly button. And then, well, I
No.
was thinking, well, what if there was a way to use that to calm the nervous system? Oh, yeah, don't Buddhist monks use Om? And then I thought about the Om symbol and how it looks
Well, yeah.
like the Odin's trap and a few other things. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's also Om chakra. And then I imagine for most people it's blue. For me, it's sort of a turquoise-ish color of that sphere of energy right there in your gut. And then instead of just letting it be random, I'm like, all right, let's arrange it in the Om symbol. And oh my, feels nice. Om. Does that sound right? Is it Mane Padme or Mani Padme Home? Om Mane Padme Home. If it was in English.
No. I'm not going to participate.
Don't worry about
And
it.
you just facilitated a growth for me to maintain my vibration, because I actually want to maintain a lower vibration in my nervous system as I write about it.
Because this world might be upside down, in it? Or there's a
Again,
jar like what I'm talking about.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
The houses of the holy. But it's upside down. could visit them. That's cool. I think
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen some stuff from her at one
The
point, or at least
the
what's it
uh,
called?
the internet has such a wealth of everything.
What's it called? Interview. I've seen at least an interview of her in something, or a number of things.
Yeah,
She seems rather up on her study.
very much. Well, her videos are my instinct says that they're in alignment with Gabor Mate's, so they're probably both learning from the same sort of criterion.
Right, right. It's so painful having to go back over research, isn't it? Isn't it? It's like, I know, give me
No,
the part I need.
not at all.
No?
No, because it's
Hmm.
there is an advantage to I don't actually so the reason
Yeah.
why there's too much information. I've like this chart is like what you're witnessing here between the geometry and these four pillars is effectively the psychiatry of the entire planet throughout all of history.
Yeah.
And there's too much. You know, it's like memorizing every freaking plant in every single type of landscape. And obviously plants live, you know, there's Antarctic, Southern Hemispheric, African, North American, South American, European. You know, it's like, oh my goodness, you could not actually memorize Arctic. You could memorize every plant. It would be impossible. But
You can come maybe halfway, but
yeah, but and that's why we symbolicize because you need a certain set of characteristics to live on the African continent or the Antarctic continent or the North American continent or the European or the Asian continent. And obviously every continent has its own character, its own like character of fauna, symbolically speaking. So what we're seeing here, and so that's how I am able to have so much like I have literally an understanding of the entire universe, all of the life forms, all of the dimensions. Maybe not. Obviously, I can't embody all the dimensions because that would be
yeah.
that would be source consciousness that creates the whole universe in an instant. Uh,
Well, I don't
so
know.
I actually like that I don't have all the nitty gritty, every flippin' detail. What I have is the address. I have the calling card. And I don't need to be the whole universe. I don't need to have the whole universe of knowledge. I just need the calling card entry, you know, the little 3.5-inch library card of that thing. And all I need to do is know that I know it. And that's basically how me, as the human, my brain will definitely grow, but as I am stretching the limits of the survival of my physical body because I am cranking the knowledge while living in a diminished capacity. And this world has not seen. I'm like Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and Mother Teresa in one body while experiencing the starvation of Nelson Mandela in the prison while he was there, working on the Declaration of Human Rights and the Galactic Charter. Can you imagine me with a laboratory and the nutritional wealth of royalty and the resource wealth of a giant company with a full-on factory? Oof. I actually think that my situation right now is exactly what is deliberate, like deliberate, on the part of the dictators. Because they fear me, and I know they fear me. They fear me to death. They fear what I will do and create and become if I could have, or I should say, when I'll have. But, you know, I'm going to learn about the critical, the survival, the health, and those are part of my... They're part of the code, the codex of my physiology. They'll have their time, though. I had my time. They'll have their time. You know? Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not always easy. Trying to look at things from all angles.
Physiological.
I've always been kind of forced to, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever I would see something and I'd ask a question, most people would be like, "No, that's not." And then in my head, I'd say, "But both can be true."
Well, but for both ideas to exist, they have to have constructed the neighborhood of neurons that all parties harnessed to contemplate the ideas in the first place. So
they're missing
the
half
idea,
neurons?
whether it's when we learn, our neurons grow. The physical structure of the neuron actually changes, and they've neuron. And there seems to be an attraction between the arms of the neurons. They actually documented it. And so when you learn something, there it is. It invokes a growing pattern in the neuron. And as the growing pattern occurs, the neurons near each other will grow towards each other. And you learn the thing that you're growing when the two neurons touch. And when they touch, they create a field around themselves, a field of creation, which stimulates all the other neurons to grow as well. And so you basically, from like the fetus in the womb, that's actually what the majority of the fetus does, like spend its time doing, is practicing the, like, first the neurons become neurons, and then the neurons begin taking feedback from the environment, and then the feedback nurtures the neurons to grow. And then whenever a neighborhood of neurons forms a network, like building a road, there you go, check it out. So there they're growing. And this happened for everything you learned. Every word, every sound, every movement of the hand, every muscle movement. That's what the fetus does. That's why the mom with the pregnant belly feels the kicking. The baby has enough neurons for that motion for that sort of event to enter into the psychiatry. And then they every time they move their leg, it stimulates the electrical network to go through the neuron. And Dr. Joe Dispenza says neurons that fire together wire together. And so as you're learning, that's why you get tired, is because your body is physically expanding the neural network in the entire body and forming new, so it builds a city from the carbon upward. It's phenomenal. It's incredible.
Or it grows a forest.
It does, yes. And it actually uses it's totally out of the torus and like the phi ratio and the torus ratio of the forest, of the trees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wholesale. And so we don't know that. We're not taught that. We don't intellectualize that in our culture. In fact, we're like, there's a resistance to public knowledge about the internal physiology. And well, it's kind of there, but in a what not to do kind of way. Mm-hmm. So there's always that little the little priests of cortisol and adrenaline. Get this, don't do that, avoid this. Mm-hmm. Be afraid of this, be afraid like this, envy like this, seek like this, do like that. And there's a constant little permutation of fear. Because fear, you can market fear. Can you market love? I wonder if they think that you can't.
Sorry, I just
because when love, no worries, when love is the architecture of the organism, they're complete. And they don't require the seeking. I feel like the market would change, or idea of the market. And what if the goal of the Earth as an organism, I think her goal is actually flourish. So I need social panic and numb. Oh, there it is. That's what I needed. Gotcha. How to map your own nervous system. Oh, when I watched what's her name? I don't actually know her name. Crappy childhood. Become a leader. Based on huh? It doesn't really give her name in the comment. Oh, but there's subtitles. Okay, that's how. Show transcript. Do you know this little trick of a YouTube video? If you have the closed captioning available, you can go into the little dot, the triple dot, and then click show transcript, and it will actually show you a typed transcript of the subtitles. Oh boy. You're seeing it come to life. So these were the charts. Though this is the simplified version. The advanced version will have more, and we're not quite there. I think there's one more. Let's think about which one though. Um. Hmm. Abundance. Mm-mm. Okay. Sense. Oh, that's right. Okay, remembered. Sensory. The human senses. There's more than we think. Yeah, there we go. Okay. A brief history. Okay, human sense organs. No. Okay. I need the complete one. No. Okay. All right. I guess I gotta go to non-photographic. Oh, there. That actually looks. It. I saw one. There is a graphic. Back. Oh. Yeah. There they are. Though still not. No. Okay. There we go. Okay. So many. And I actually want them to be complete, so I'm probably going to just copy and paste and dump it into. I haven't used the.
So I have relatively well-honed chemoreceptors.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I must have the.
I so I knew from a early, like in my teenage years, I already knew that there were more than five. And the one that really, when I first read about proprioception, it blew my mind because that's basically what I can experience a dysregulation
Me too.
in. Like that,
Yeah.
the Tourette syndrome,
Huh?
Asperger's, autistic
May I ask? Yeah.
manifestation.
May I ask what
But
happens if it's okay?
yeah, it's fine. What happens? Well, technically,
Do you
it
spell
happened.
guns?
What?
Tourette's. Turrets. Uh. Uh.
No,
Sorry.
no. It's a French.
Yeah.
It was a French physicist, Gilles. So Giles of the Tourettes. So it was a last name, basically. Giles Tourette's.
Tourette.
I don't know if he was turn of the century or Victorian, but somewhere in there.
So it's probably
And
actually pronounced Tourette.
Tourette, Tourette.
Tourette. The
Yes,
T is there.
it's there.
Okay.
Yes. And he observed
That's fair.
behaviors within a handful of his patients. He had a full-on functioning clinic in France, French physician or doctor or something of that persuasion. Um, and he was the one who first observed and documented the first publicized case of Tourette syndrome inside of a human.
Okay.
And so the disorder is named after, or not disorder, this syndrome. The syndrome is named after him and his work,
Hmm.
and in credit to him, observing it and working with patients who exhibited signs that would later become the criterion for Tourette syndrome. Those criteria today, according to the diagnostic handbook, I don't know about, I believe in Europe, yes. So I believe that the British diagnostic criterion and the U.S. criterion and the Canadian criterion. I don't know about all the other countries or continents or what have you, but at least in those, the criterion is that you have to have a motor uh, movement, voluntary or involuntary, a vocal movement, voluntary or involuntary. Oh no, so you need one or more vocal movements and one or more muscle movements. But what the media in like Hollywood and stuff doesn't mention is that the movements have a neurological precursor. And when I was exhibiting classic Tourette syndrome symptoms, which are basically convulsive like motions, kicking, head movements, vocalization, throat clearing, blinking, rapidly exhaling, so like rapid nose movements or cough
Sounds
movements,
like
stuff like that.
sounds like the trauma of extreme stress.
There's a lot behind it. There's a lot behind, and yes, there are PTSD and trauma patients who have Tourette's like symptoms, but there's more. I think they can still be separated. Like, the picture is so complex and it has multidimensional elements. What I can tell you as a light worker is that my prefrontal cortex, the inhibition mechanism, appears to have trouble putting the brakes on. And the fact that I'm talking about Tourette syndrome right now attests to the phenomenal amount of multidimensional psychiatric, emotional, and vibrational work that I have done. Because I basically had to invent my own inhibition system.
Mm-hmm.
I used to start ticking. That's what they're called, ticks. Movements. Oh, they're still there. The energy's still there. I still experience the Tourette's vibration in my musculature. And if you want a parallel for something that you can like understand and relate to, in a terms of what they feel like, they're very similar to the way that the nervous system is disrupted during a cold. So those semi-conscious aches and those semi-conscious like nervous system movements in the cold state are basically the closest parallel that I can point you towards in terms of experientiality.
I can imagine. It's like going out in the cold and you're blasted with it. Well, you can't help but nearly recoil 90% of people, even the tough people.
Correct.
Like going from cozy 80-degree inside to negative 20, well, that's going to mess with you anyway. Just the sheer force of all that water contracting, let alone the heat leaving you, let alone. So yeah,
no, not the cold of outside. A cold, like a runny nose cold.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I was saying that in an extra juxtapositional way, like it just kind of forces a shock in you. The cold
slightly
puts you
different,
flat
but
on your
yeah.
ass. You just don't want to move. Well, you maybe do, but it's not gonna happen so easily.
Yeah. It's kind of it runs deep. It's not simple by any means.
Right.
There's a lot of complexities.
But it's seemingly neurological.
And it affects everything.
Mm-hmm.
In curious ways, in unexpected ways.
Mm-hmm. Ah. I saw a video. Something about freeing up neurons.
Well, that's what I've been on a journey of doing.
I think that's part of this, what I told you this place is for a little bit. It's so beautiful that it causes you to forget, and many come here to forget, to then remember their true selves, or find their true selves if they never knew. Oh, why are people so tactless? That's what I should ask this mandala when we figure out how to use it all the way. There's many
I know how to use it all the way.
answers, but what's the main general motions we can do to go, okay, here's how we help make it so that tactless is not as much of a thing.
You're again, you're asking the questions that I've asked a long time ago, so just sit tight.
Yeah.
The answer to that question and how to find it will come very soon.
Man. Obsidian and gold.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh man. You just did something. You just killed me.
Huh?
Hmm.
What happened?
When you were talking about the beautiful place, my unfiltering psyche teleported there instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And what my psyche sees, my body sees.
Yeah. You can tell because trees are extra beautiful. Something about the curvature of things. That's why they make houses
But
all
you will
boxy.
experience some pain for having done that.
All the time.
For having taken me. I learned it just now. That's why I'm such a powerful manifester. Because everything everyone does with me is karmic, or they are participating in the karmic until I take control and return it to the senders.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to decide if I help everyone that taught me about the karmic mechanisms. Hmm. What a retributional moment. Hmm. Um, hmm.
Yay. I think we
Oh,
figured out we hit either one too many data set or we need
there we go.
okay.
Okay. We got it. We got it. I'm going to not include the in fact.
I zoomed in as much as I could.
Oh,
I think people can see this. You're good. Don't worry about it.
well, I'm doing a little bit of, or it's a little bit of maintenance. That we're not at the final form yet.
Right.
Oh, wrong thing. Yeah. Okay. There we go. they've experienced. The whenever the people like Mike Tyson take 5-MeO DMT, they report experiencing like a white light in their mind. I'm gonna die tonight. They report a white light that comes towards them, kind of like obliterating their ego consciousness. And then, so like, I'm actually seeing that. And it's coming closer, closer to my nervous system. Like seeing a train enter the edge of a kingdom and going towards the capital. But I'm getting an intuitive message that the way that I'll experience it will be very different from most of the other patterns of everyone else in this universe who has experienced it in my own way, which is cool. There we go. Okay. Hello?
I'm here. I'm just dealing with a call. It's still recording. I'll be right there. Hello, hello.
Uh, there's one more. Although, no, not tonight. This is the outline. I I'm probably going to be done soon. But so the notes for tomorrow. Uh, I'm probably going to actually physically pull out my large sheets of paper, the graph paper, my graph poster paper sheets, and to actually write out every single one of these charts. They're a little bit too, like, they follow their own manufacturation. And I need to remove a bit of that manufacturation and make it a little more primal and fundamental in the structure and the syntax.
Yeah, so
As a stepping stone, because eventually each one of these charts is going to receive its very own Omega Mandala charter geometry. So each one of these will be converted into one of those. And that's really basically the project coming to a conclusion. So for tomorrow, I'm going to include the let's see, the it's the cosmic doctrine. That's one document, cosmic doctrine. Number 2, the galactic charter. Number 3, the reinterpreted. I have a website called the Abundance Laws. Abundance Laws. And basically it's like whenever they qualify someone as poverty, there's first degree, or no, there's third degree, third class, second degree, third class, first degree, third class, and then middle class has so within first class, second class, third class, there's 3 each, meaning there's 9, which is so interesting. The omnipresent 9, which is present in so many systems.
Archetypes,
class,
in a sense?
Archetype. Correct. And so what you have here is basically the equivalent of crisis, the crisis dimension, the surviving dimension, the the crisis dimension, the struggle dimension, the surviving dimension, the health dimension, and the thriving dimension. And so we basically have 1 through 5 right here. And it's so interesting that tomorrow I'll be opening my cosmic physiology to the flourish, the cosmic doctrine, the abundance laws, the class chart, and the law of one. I might as well. Oh, that's right, the law of one. And let's see, the Declaration of Human Rights. Oh, graduation. Boy, does my third eye hurt right now. And then I get to do the fun part, which will be turn each one into a mandala, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And actually physically draw them, because there will be, well, now I'm actually getting a sense of how many mandalas there will actually be within the final Omega Web mandala, the Omni Mandala, centered around planet Earth.
Yeah.
Lol. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Of course it's 11. Why wouldn't it be 11? I feel like, yeah. I feel like, well, yeah. And I guess the Tree of Life, I'll have to look up Tree of Life with 11 stanzas, but I feel like there will be, so like, just like the human body has organs, the body's biggest organ is actually the skin. So the skin is its own organ, apparently. And so I feel like, yeah. And so I feel like at a certain, like, I feel like the personal journey in relationship to this, well, it's a baby. Like, I'm full on giving birth to something. And it will basically be a brand new, like, it's almost like an academy. Or, I mean, they call them mystery teachings, but I am going to change that. It's not a mystery anymore. Well, it will reveal new mysteries, I suppose, but the mysteriousness of it, at least within the human chapter of the relationship to it, will be more illuminated. And
less mysterious.
And so I'm actually gonna call it I'm gonna call it a pulse school rather than a mystery school, because the mystery schools have to be mysterious, because up until right now they were to be the like downloading and internalization and manifestation in 3D form was actually would have led to a killing, a critical, or a like the threat at that stage up until not that long ago was the vitality of those practitioners exploring it. So it's like it's kind of historic. I'm kind of amazed. I get to like sit here and actually contemplate these things without fear of my well, I'm obviously being impacted upon by a warmongering tapeworm, but you know. Oh well, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
So, wow. This has never happened in human history. This is so exciting. Oh.
Well,
So,
it
woohoo.
rhymes at least. It rhymes with things in good ways. It rhymes with the enlightenings of each of the sages that had come and gone, each holy man and each wise man. It's like watching a flower bloom, in my mind.
Beautiful. So I feel like I feel like there will be more than 11 in the final product, but until I actually until I actually construct basically the fetus of my idea, or the like the newborn or the toddler of my idea, I won't actually see what the full-on final form. I only catch glimpses of the broad brushstrokes, and like this whole journey has basically been about filling in the really delicate details on the broad brushstrokes. And that's what's next, is of recalibrating the brushstrokes so that they're actually symbolically on paper, and it will actually be on paper. I'm gonna take all these charts tomorrow and actually physically draw them.
All right.
But before I can draw them, I first need to like distill them down to their like primal essence and not be all like, you know, I need to digest the plant matter before it can be transmutated and rearranged into a new tissue structure.
Okay. Should we tap it out at here?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you again for your service and your tech.
Yeah, I'm always glad to try to help.
You're doing amazing goodness. We're manifesting a hope, the candle of hope for these critical times. And that feels pretty dang good, don't it?
Yeah.
I love seeing these here. They've been in my mind's eye, just like Beethoven writing the concertos in his deaf, unhearing brain. So too have these been in my mind, patiently waiting for today, for this weekend, for this week to be birthed. I didn't know that it would be this week, this weekend, this week. But here we are.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, just cut it. No outro.
Yeah. Yeah. Signing off. Good luck on your side.